I'm Mark Callie, Mr. Saltwater Tank, coming to you on behalf of SaltwaterAquarium.com. When you need livestock for your saltwater tank, you can go to your local fish store, or you can shop online like at SaltwaterAquarium.com. You either take the livestock home with you, or a couple days later, it shows up at your door. But what does it take to get that livestock, specifically cleanup crew members, to your door? Look, even I forget that someone has to go out in the ocean and collect those critters. This is true even if they're going to be used for captive breeding programs. To see what the SaltwaterAquarium.com collection process looks like, I grabbed Jimmy Newby Reefer and headed to the Florida Keys. But first, Jimmy had to make a pit stop.
Okay, the first stop on our tour is Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah. You know why? Because Jimmy wants to watch hockey instead of get down to the ocean. So,
not only do I want to watch hockey, I want to watch my Maple Leafs go after your Tennessee Nashville Predators.
Let's film your shirt, Jimmy.
Oh, dude, where's your? I bought you a Steven Stamkos jersey. Where's your jersey, dude?
I'm here to work, not play. I'm gonna go.
Well, we can go sit in traffic if you want. We can go sit in some traffic. Here we go. Let's get some wings and turn the game on.
The Nashville Predators got smashed by the Maple Leafs, so we continued south into the night, dodging the local wildlife and putting our lives at risk. The next morning, we were up early to grab breakfast, dodge more local wildlife, and to get Jimmy the proper collecting equipment because he didn't grab what I told him to get beforehand.
These are those specialty dive gloves that say Ace on them. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware man.
You just wear one.
You just wear one?
One-handed.
Like Michael Jackson?
Yeah. Do the moonwalk.
Nailed it.
Finally, we're on the water headed to the open ocean. But first, a word with Amy, one of our collectors. We're heading out with Amy and Thomas out to collect some cleanup crew. One thing that we're big on here at SaltwaterAquarium.com is sustainability, of course, following rules. Amy, you said not anyone can just jump in a boat and go collect stuff. There's a process to this.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are fewer than 100 of the collecting licenses in the state of Florida. In order for someone to get one, someone has to either sell it or relinquish it to someone. And that is the only license that will allow you to collect the animals that go into aquariums.
And these licenses are per animal? How are they set up?
So the licenses, it depends on what you're collecting. So for a lot of things that go into the aquariums, there are specific limits on them. Blue leg hermit crabs, we are able to get 1 quart a day.
1 quart?
1 quart each day.
Which is about how many roughly hermit crab?
Well, it depends. So for SaltwaterAquarium.com, we like to collect the large animals. Okay. So 1 quart fills up a lot quicker with the larger blue legs than it does the smaller ones. So for SaltwaterAquarium.com, we're able to get about 600-ish blue legs.
And you're counting these by hand, right? There's
no
sorter or anything?
Yeah, so we have a quart container to make sure that we stay at our limit for them. But we've just done it so long, we're like, okay, we're definitely going to have to go out a few times this week for blue legs.
Okay.
To make sure that we're going to have enough to...
So there's limits per animal that you're collecting?
Yeah, so blue legs have a limit, emerald green crabs have a limit, dwarf pygmy seahorses have a limit, and then Astrea snails have a limit.
And then sea stars are something totally different?
They're definitely protected species. So some of the sea stars you can't touch at all, the Bahama stars or the cushion stars. Those are protected here. The other starfish, they're everywhere, so we don't necessarily have a limit.
One thing I tell people is this is the ocean. This isn't Kroger or H-E-B where you can just walk in and go that. You don't know what you're going to get on any given day.
True. Though we do have collecting locations, and so we know where we need to go in order to get blue legs, and we have a variety of places that we go so that we don't overfish or overcollect. I'm personally very passionate about that. So we want to make sure that we take some of the larger animals, leave the smaller ones so that they can repopulate, so that they can grow and have really nice shells, be big, be ready to eat lots of things in the aquarium to help keep it clean.
And you're collecting these by hand. There's no nets, traps that you place, come back the next day, pull them, and you're set.
No, not for the things that we collect in the style that we collect. No.
So you have to hand by hand pick like 600 hermit crabs. Yeah. And a lot of times it's literally like one at a time, right? You're not grabbing the big bunch and throwing them in.
Yeah, on a good day, you might grab a big bunch, but typically, we go out where we go. They're a little bit more scattered than that. Yeah.
So this isn't necessarily easy pickings.
No, and especially when you're looking for the bigger animals, you're going to be able to find the smaller critters a lot more easily than the bigger ones.
So would you rather be pushing a desk in an office or doing this?
Oh no, doing this. I left an office job during COVID. I was actually living and working in Italy as the dean of students for a university.
I mean, living in Italy, you're kind of losing me already, Amy. You got to sell this a little bit more.
I know. COVID brought me home. I picked up the fish keeping hobby and met some really good folks who just happened to be moving to the Keys to do this, and they invited me along. We moved down here, and this is what I've been doing since.
This is life.
Yeah.
Topside conditions weren't the best, but not the worst. If you only want to work in perfect conditions and calm seas, this isn't the job for you. Oh, the water is only 72 degrees as well, which for Floridians is absolutely freezing. But hey, there's a job to do. And we're off. Underneath the water, also not the best conditions, and sometimes it's like that in the ocean. Visibility wasn't so great. I was getting rocked around by waves, and I'm here just to overturn rocks? Yep, that's how part of the cleanup crew collector's job is done. Turn over rocks and see what you get. Nothing here, nothing under this one. Nope, not here either. I'm starting to lose count how many rocks we turned over. All right, here's one. That's right, one. Usually when you do find something, it's onesies, twosies, and sometimes you find cool stuff that you can't collect. What's up, Mr. Krabs? Did I mention that you also have fish following you around trying to steal what you find under those rocks? I like that Amy was carefully turning over the rocks and placing them gently back on the ocean floor. She isn't just bulldozing the collection site looking for cleanup crew. This work is far from glamorous and it's slow at times, but hey, we're in the ocean until we weren't. Because sometimes you have to go on land to find what you want. In this case, hermit crabs and snails. Get back here, you. All right, enough of this land stuff, back into the ocean. Over the next few hours, we collected emerald crabs, sea urchins, and macroalgae. I even ran into some upside-down jellyfish and limpets. And here's one of the locals. That's a nurse shark, by the way. With government-regulated collection limits sometimes in the hundreds per day per animal, this process could take a while. But once the work is done, we went and jumped onto a nearby reef to see some other cool stuff that we couldn't collect, but hey, it was neat to see out in the wild. store, or you can shop online like at Saltwater. When you need livestock for your saltwater, or you can shop online like at SaltwaterAquarium.com. You either take the livestock home with you, or a couple doors. But have to. Look, even I remember that someone has to go out on the and collect those things to your door. This is true even if they're going to be used. This is true even if they're going to be used for captive breeding programs.